not fucked anything in years, according to your walking.
What, my
Wow.
wife?
No,
My wife.
No, I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
apparently my wife would sit
Retro.
there and tell you that too.
Hmm.
That's the messed up part.
Yeah,
Are we
post-climax. Post-climax.
I
she
believe
said that.
I believe we are live. Just so you're aware.
We're on.
We're
are on. Okay.
We're on
Why
the
hasn't
D?
it popped up on my phone yet? What the hell is going on? We're like 30 seconds in and it hasn't popped up yet.
We're on
Yep,
the D.
probably broke. Yep, we're in the D train.
Oh god,
We
no wonder
are?
it's so.
Okay.
No wonder it's so.
Oh,
dry.
there we go. Damn. All right. Well, let's get the show started and that stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
We have. I'm actually just going to call him our panelist because he's been here every week. I enjoy his company. I was actually just on his show and that stuff, his hams and cozies, and I had a great time. And his show runs so much more smoother than ours does. That tells you something. Whose phone's that? See? Chimes, all kinds of crap going on in that. What am I to do?
Of course, well, when you have a head as bald as his, of course
to
it's
answer
smooth.
to answer your question, Doom, you could give a link for Senor Triple. That was what that phone was.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Are you kidding me?
no. I mean, it's right there on the screen.
We're not Catholic.
That's
We
the
don't
second-
we don't
that's
play
the
with
second
kids.
link I sent tonight. Damn it. I'm hoping I haven't gotten anything from our guest yet, Dark Ottemis. I sent him the same link and that stuff, so hopefully he'll be coming in. But good evening, everybody. This is Doomslayers Den, episode 51. I am Doomsayer, bringing the doom. Apparently, we have our guest. I guess he's running a little bit late tonight, so once he pops in, we'll get him going in that stuff. But we have Locke with us tonight.
Bro,
It's Luke. Jesus.
for fuck's sake.
I'm trying.
Mosquito's not here, so I had to say that.
We're not going to call you Locke. We're just going to call you Lick.
Oh my god.
That's fine.
You need to stop projecting. You need to stop projecting your thirst onto me, okay? I know I'm attractive. You don't have to keep telling me.
I mean, Wise is quite the horny
weird.
man.
At this point, it's just
All I
weird,
want to
man.
know,
It's
all I
weird.
want to know is you got that freaking tie and shirt on again. I want to know, do you have anything underneath?
Bro, I done told you, and you didn't follow instruction. Okay, you're not following instructions. Subscribe to the Patreon, and we can discuss. All right.
I'm already a member. I'm already a member of your OnlyFans. What more do I have to do?
Let's get back to doing the show.
Okay, yeah, let's get back to the show and that stuff. Let me introduce the panel. Luke, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm fantastic. I just finished the audit at work, so starting tomorrow I'm gonna be gaming like a motherfucker. Like I'm no lifing it. I haven't finished Spawn. I haven't even started a Plague Tale. I still need to finish Yakuza 5.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I got a question. Was your daddy a game? Is your dad a gamer?
What?
Is your dad a gamer?
What did
Why
that
is this
sound?
shit so loud? It's the freaking game.
Level needs what the levels are, bro.
Hold on here. Let me get through the panel, and we'll start doing everybody's questions and all that other stuff.
No, I just want to know. Look, is your dad a gamer?
No, my dad.
Then how are you
dead?
Oh, okay. Well, was he a gamer?
That's messed up.
No, because you said you're gonna be a game. You're gonna game like a motherfucker. So I was just gonna say, well, if it was your dad a gamer?
No,
Okay.
he wasn't.
Oh well. Neither was my dad either. So oh well. Anyhow. Okay. Keep going.
Okay. Wise, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doom is exasperated
Wait a minute.
right now. Relax, bro.
I gotta say is okay. So if this is episode 51. That means we're 18 away from 69. So I like those numbers, 18 and 69. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yo, so on that note, Doom, please make sure that I'm on episode 70. I don't want to be here on 69. It's going to be too many.
We're skipping over the number 69 totally.
Yeah.
You mean
We're doing
look,
episode 68 twice.
you don't like
Yes.
doing 69?
We ain't doing 69. We're skipping over that.
We can do 6.9. You know, like
What up, Yo B?
we can do 69, or we can do 6.9. Episode 6.9, basically like a 69, but ruined with the period.
Let me get on with the show here.
So, see, before you do that, do me a favor. Turn
What?
the feed for the game down a bit, man.
Yeah, ain't nobody can hear what I'm saying.
Wait, turn the what down?
The feed for the game? Yeah, because
Oh,
it's
for the
Thank you.
overpowering what everyone's saying.
Yeah, we're
okay.
doing-
Here, the problem with that is I don't have my headphones on because it's not coming through my headphones. I got you guys going through speakers right now, so I think
Okay,
that's
so
every
that's a
time I
you
go to
problem,
record,
man.
that's what happens.
We're doing
Sorry,
episode
it's
6.9,
sweet, man.
which is basically like 69, but ruined with a period.
Oh my god. Well, Retro, please save me here. Please save me.
Don't know what you
How are
want from me,
doing
man.
tonight?
I don't know what you expect of me here.
I'm glad that you're here. I'm happy.
He wants you
that
to
you're
come through his
here.
speakers, basically.
Nope.
Oh my god.
That shit costs money. It's not free.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Jim, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing fine, just listening to all the shenanigans happen.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Jim,
yeah.
how's your OnlyFans going?
Which fans?
Your OnlyFans. Let's keep going. I'm sorry.
I mean,
All right,
I only have you as the single subscriber wise, so
And I ain't getting shit for what I'm paying. That's what I gotta say.
Why is you subscribing to my OnlyFans? You subscribing to Jim's? What is going on, dude?
He's
I
a
gotta spread
thirsty,
the love.
thirsty little man.
I got a lot of love to
I
give.
appreciate the support, but this is just strange, man.
Well,
Exactly.
why is I'm surprised you say you're not getting anything. I mean, you've certainly gotten the D.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
my wife's D that I'm using.
Yo,
Well, I mean, it's not my fault you bought the wrong train ticket and took the D
What?
line all the way through New York. Okay.
I need to ask a real quick question. Okay, so Elon Musk took over Twitter and that stuff. Now all of a sudden on my Twitter feed, I'm getting things where it says, "Hey, click on this link and you can get $100 PSN card." Mark, I blocked you. Go away. I don't need you around
Yeah,
here. That's
don't
bullshit.
click that shit. That's
Yeah.
scammy as fuck.
Get out of here. I don't need that on my
Is
Twitter
that
feed.
Elon
Okay?
Musk's fault? I'm curious now.
No. Oh,
I'm
boy.
sure people will say it's his fault somehow, some way, some shape or form. I'm just waiting
Man,
for all the
like, as
backlash
soon as
to
they
occur.
got the African in, it just fucked up everything. Nothing.
I'm just waiting for all the backlash
More
to occur
nothing.
now.
Oh, I can't wait for that. All right. Well,
Hey, all I gotta say is I got the desk.
Speaking
All I
of
gotta say is
African,
I got the petrol ready and the matches.
hey, speaking of African low, can you tell my Nigerian uncle to please go ahead and wire me that $1 million? I gave him my bank account number already. So
Welcome to Nelson. He says I make him feel self-conscious. Get used to it. Spooky. Nice to see you too, bro. Welcome.
yeah, I
As for your
wanted to-
Nigerian
nobody
prince,
gives a fuck about Nelson and Spooky. Go to hell, guys.
as
All
for
right.
you, Wise,
Yes, I do.
as for
Yobi,
you,
how
Wise,
you
just
doing
wire him
tonight?
the money, and he'll definitely send you your inheritance. All right, trust me.
Yobi, how
Frank?
you doing tonight? Timmy, how you doing? Nelson, Spooky,
Hey,
how's
Hi,
everybody
Dank.
going? Dank Nate, he will be on with us on Sunday. He'll be sharing his UFO information and that stuff also. But I'll plug that all at the end and that stuff. Wise, don't say nothing. All right, we're going to get into the first topic, which it's a topic that Wise
Doug.
actually brought up. And what topic is that? Because it has to do with Xbox.
Oh, I thought it was dealing with plugs.
No,
I
we're
was
going to
dealing
get
with-
we're going to get
I
away
thought I
from
was
that.
dealing with dildos, but oh yeah.
Get
Well, that's
on with
what I
the
meant.
podcast.
What plugs?
How you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Plugs and dildo. Well, I was just going. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
this is wild.
Yes, it is. But
Okay,
the
so
first topic. So I'll leave the topic up to you, Wise, because you got the information on that.
I mean, this is Doomslayers After Dark.
No,
okay,
it's
let
not.
Me, let me pull
Yes,
up
it
my
is.
YouTube
It's
feed.
after 1700 hours.
Okay, it's dark, but it's not like after dark. Where the hell did this show go, man? Where did it go? It went from a chilled, laid back show.
I gave you a week, one fucking week off. Okay, so you can't blame
and
me.
what happened? No. Before you guys came, it was like a chilled, relaxed show, and then
It
all
still
of a sudden,
is chilled and
It's
relaxed.
still a
it's
relaxed
like
show.
minor
You know?
porn going on here.
Hey,
No.
anytime you can match.
We just took it off the rails and derailed it, okay?
Let's get on with the first subject.
Don't associate me with him.
Very aggravated.
Okay,
Get on with the
so
subject.
news for the second straight year, Microsoft has missed Game Pass growth targets that it ties to some CEOs' pays. So they
Poor CEO.
they forecasted 73% growth, and they fell substantially short of that. So they're saying that the subscription industry in general is down, but some of the pundits are saying that maybe Game Pass is hitting an early ceiling. So yeah. And so I just want to talk about that because, Microsoft, since the Series X has come out, Series X has been like the redheaded stepchild of this generation for Microsoft. Microsoft, even when they first announced the console, they were more interested in pushing Game Pass as their main platform, and the Series X is more of a vector, and S is a vector for that Game Pass. And we're now going into 3 years of this thing of the Series X, and what does everyone think about this? Why do you think we've hit a cap? Now, people say because there's no exclusives, but can we totally attribute that to 100% to the fact that there is no growth? So that's my question to the panel.
Well, I'm going to start with Luke on this one first. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay, so you said a lot of things there. You said that it's the red-headed stepchild. I like redheads. I don't understand
Oh my.
the shade.
You like
don't
anybody
get-
anything with hair on its head at this point in time?
Fair. It is. What is it? It's midnight right now. So yeah, that's a fair assumption. Point is, I don't think it's a console that's been pushed to the side or marginalized by Xbox. I think that Xbox has just done what Microsoft always does with the business model. Their business model is not to sell hardware. Their business model is to sell software. The people that are too focused on the console war will say that they have this business model because they're falling behind PlayStation, but they do this with every industry that they step into and dominate. So there's no stepchild here. They're just trying to hook people onto their consoles and then eventually pass them on to the service, or use the service and then you can get to the console. But the main thing is always the service. That's how they became the second biggest company on the planet. What was the second part of the question?
The second part of the question is if they're using this as a vector, and you said that their main goal is Game Pass. We're still pretty fresh into this quote unquote generation. Now, why haven't we seen year over year growth? Why are we seeing potential caps going into Game Pass?
Definitely. I think it's the exclusives. The people that initially jumped onto Game Pass were original Xbox players and people that were new to the whole subscription model before PlayStation introduced Triple P. So eventually you do reach the level or ceiling where you've basically spoken to everyone you could speak to, and now you just need to get the people that are on the other side. But the people on the other side need more incentives, your Starfields and whatever the games. That's why they're getting that's why they're getting Call of Duty and all these other publishers, because they've already gotten their core fan base. Now they're trying to figure out how to steal or acquire people from outside. That's my take on this. It's not a big shock that the growth hasn't continued to be exponential as when it started. No one should be panicking, in my opinion.
Well, I want to take a backlash to that because, we always hear, oh, Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, best deal in gaming, best deal in gaming. Shouldn't that deal, quote unquote, be independent of any exclusives? I mean, you're getting all these games per month for such a low flat fee, right? $10, $15, whatever subscription model you want to attribute to. So why is there a decrease or a flat line going on? Shouldn't we be seeing some sort of growth over and over again? And that's my biggest thing. It shouldn't be tied to exclusive. It is if it is the quote unquote best deal in gaming, right?
No, but that's not how it works. It's just like I'm going to use the basketball analogy. The reason the Golden State Warriors suddenly are one of the most supported teams in the US is not because they had the best team and they played good basketball, is because they were winning championships. So our equivalent in our industry of winning championships is big exclusives. That's what gets people to move over when they've been on one platform for a long time. It's that simple.
Okay, let me jump in here real quick. Isn't Game Pass on everything?
Yeah,
you have it on consoles, PC. You have it on phones. You have it on tablets. You have it on Samsung TV. We all sit here and joke that it's on refrigerators and microwaves and that stuff. And I don't think that's a joke anymore. I think that.
I mean, I did kind of throw it on a smart fridge already, so.
But Jim, I would step back from that mic because it just sounded like you swallowed it.
You throat fucking it again. Stop throat fucking you, mate.
Hey, I didn't say that one. Okay, that
was a wise job.
Look at you.
But what I'm saying is it has all these these places where it's at and that stuff, and it really hasn't. Now it hasn't grown. Now we got, what was it, last year? It was at 25 million, or at the beginning of the year, something like that. It was 25 million. Somebody on another podcast kept on saying, and to this day still says it, that they're at 30 million, but there's no real concrete evidence that it is at 30 million. I don't know if it's even on 25 million. I don't have Game Pass no more. Because there's nothing on there as of right now that I need or want to play in that stuff. But it has gone up 159% on PC. Now the thing is what's the numbers on PC? I mean, it's just like, we all know this. You could sit there and say, hey, you know what? Somebody subscribed to my channel today, and then all of a sudden somebody goes and subscribes to your channel tomorrow. Well, that's what, 100%, 1,000%, whatever it is. You went up in one day. What is the number though? I mean, 159% are the console guys saying, we don't want to be on console anymore. We're just going to transfer everything over to PC, and maybe that's spiking it. I don't know how do you find this stuff out? That's why I don't understand in that. How do you find this stuff out?
Hey, Doom.
Yeah.
You don't.
To answer your question, you look at the data.
So what's the data?
There is no numbers to back up that 159%.
No, there's no numbers being publicized by Soft at the moment.
You got
Hey, before you guys go any further in that stuff, our guest is here, Dark Ottemis. How are you doing tonight, sir? I did not see you down there, but I got you in as quickly as possible.
What's up, man? Yeah, dude. I heard
Greetings.
somebody say micro
What's
shaft,
up,
and I was
big
I just
welcome.
started laughing. I was all like, "Dang, micro shaft. That's blasphemous, damn it."
I mean, I mean, I can call it micro penis, but I think microshaft would be a better thing to call
Oh
it.
my god!
That's my wife's
Oh,
nickname for me.
Can we not? Let's stay off the sexual stuff.
Oh, jeez.
that might
13.
just stick. Micro penis.
Oh man.
Well,
Oh, and I did tweak the audio board a bit, so hopefully this sounds a little better.
Yes, you actually do sound a lot better.
yeah, you don't sound like you're deep throating it.
Good lord.
I'm gonna just leave that one alone for Doom's sake.
Okay, wait a minute. Before you guys, I wanted to get Dark in here. He has been on Crossfire. He is also on Xbox 448's Thursday night.
Next
It's
podcast,
at 8
man.
o'clock
It's
or 9 o'clock.
8 o'clock
o'clock?
Eastern, 4 p.m. No, 5 p.m. Pacific.
5 p.m. Pacific. Okay, I wanted to make sure I got that right and that stuff. And you've also been on Brap's show a bunch of times and
Yeah.
that stuff that I heard you on here and that. But it's great to finally get you on here, finally meet you and that
Been on
stuff.
DRG too, just so you guys know. K Mega show, which is on later.
Oh, that's
so,
right.
yeah.
You have that after this tonight?
No, I sometimes I just hop in just to mess with K Mega because that's my bro, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually I forgot to get back to him on trying to get him on to the show, so I'm gonna have to do that after tonight. I'd like to get him on here and that stuff. But every guest that we have on here, we ask 3 questions. The first question is,
Cool.
what got you into gaming? So, what got you into gaming, sir?
I'd have to say probably my dad. You know, like my dad was the one who was like, "Hey, check this out." You know, when the NES was first around, and then they got me a Sega Genesis, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Snowballed down a mountain because now it's a huge thing now. Like I remember when gaming was just like it was frowned upon. People hated you if you played games, and now it's like it's the cool thing. It's crazy how much it's changed and everything. But yeah, my dad was the first one to actually ever get me into gaming, and then if you want to know like game wise, what got me into gaming was The Legend of Zelda. So that first the Link to the Past was the first game that I was like, holy crap, this is what gaming is, and then of course Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros 3, that's also one of my favorites. I love that game. So just gaming since I was knee high to a duck. It's been fun. I can say
Okay,
that.
so the second question I have for you is, in your opinion, what's the best console you have ever played on?
Best console? Oh man, that's a good question. Honestly,
yeah.
and I know a lot of people are probably gonna get it. Ooh yeah.
Yeah, that dumpster fire of a console.
That's a good one. I would have to say probably for me personally, the original Xbox, because that's when
another
when they
ham
had
solo.
when they had when they had Amped, they had Dead or Alive 3, they had Halo Combat Evolved. Like they had all those games like at launch, and it brought me into this world of like, holy crap, this is what gaming's gonna be like for the next however many years. And of course, unfortunately, it didn't last very long until they made the 360. So yeah, that was the console that I like. At that age, I knew like this is what I want to, this is what I want to continue to play games. That was the console.
Okay. And your 3 top best games you've ever played.
Well, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is probably number one. Number two would probably be Mass Effect 2, actually, not the first one, but the second one.
Oh,
And then, ooh, third would probably be um. That's the one I might have to think about. Um, I don't really know on that one. I'm like trying to think of like what was like my third favorite game. Probably Super Mario Bros. 3, to be honest. Like that and Zelda was just like those two on that console just wowed the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Okay. Jim, we can hear you rocking.
Sounds like an old granny walking in.
Okay. All right. So we'll get back. We'll just jump right back into the subject, and we'll actually ask you and that stuff. So Wise was asking the Game Pass numbers. They really haven't. They kind of went stagnant with
Mm.
the console side, but they grew on the PC side, 159% and that stuff. I mean, why is it getting to be stagnant on the console side, but not the PC side? I mean, is the PC side seeing more value? Is the console side sitting there going, yo, why are we paying an extra $60 for multiplayer when we can get it free on PC if we just go to PC? In your opinion, why is it stagnant one place and it went up a little bit on the other side?
I think there's multiple factors to that one. I think that a lot of it has to do with some gamers are just sick of getting consoles all the time, so they want to go to PC, and they well, they already have Game Pass, so they figured might as well get the $14.99 a month instead of the $9.99 a month or whatever they want to, however they want to do it. I think personally, for myself, I don't own Game Pass, so I don't subscribe. I don't really like subscription services, so I don't subscribe to. I do have PlayStation Plus, but it's only the essential one. I don't have like the premium or whatever the hell they have extra or some crap like that. I don't subscribe to those. Um, I just mainly do it if I want to play online with friends or whatever. But I think a lot of people are just going to PC and wanting to have a PC in their home and do all that stuff. Me personally, I wouldn't ever buy a PC like to game specifically to game. Um, just because I'm a console gamer. I've always been a console gamer. I want to stay a console gamer. I want to keep that type of thing alive as long as I can, because I like having a controller in my hand. I like coming home and being able to just kick up my feet and just turn it on and start playing games. I like that aspect of it. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you could do that with a PC. I understand you can do that with a PC, but I just don't want to have. I'm not a specs guy. I don't care what's in the freaking PC. Like I'd have to ask somebody, or I'd have to be like, hey, can you help me with this? And I just don't want to ask anybody to like, hey, to help me with this. I'd rather just go out, get an Xbox or a PlayStation, and hook it up and play games. It's just so much easier, so much more convenient, and I enjoy that. I think most gamers are just they're just at that point of like they want because I think a lot of gamers feel like these consoles are a little anemic in a way, and they want the best looking um, bang for their buck, so to speak. So they basically try to get a PC, and they try to spec it up and try to get it to be this thing, and then they get Game Pass, and so because it's cheap and it's the biggest value in gaming. I mean, no one can deny that. It's just I think most most gamers are just I think a lot of it is just Twitter, too. I think a lot of it's just Twitter. People are just like on Twitter, just freaking, oh well, you should get a PC. You should get a PC if you like graphics. And then some people are gonna, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are like gonna get that PC, and then they're not gonna even enjoy
Oh,
it.
things I want to say about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, sorry, console presence, but PC gaming is closed. You can keep your paywall shenanigans to yourselves.
Well, you can have your PC. Go ahead, you can have it. I'm gonna lay down my sword on that one. I don't. I won't.
Yeah,
I won't
keep all the paywall bullshit off PC.
Lean back, Jim. Lean all the way back.
Yeah, you're like right on that mic. But yeah, man. I mean, it honestly, I think if you're gonna play on PC, you're gonna play on Xbox, or you're gonna play on PlayStation. I think we're in a good spot of gaming right now, and who knows what the future holds if everything starts going to PC. Then will I dip out of gaming, or will I stay in it? Who knows? Yeah, I don't see. What were we talking about? We're talking about Game Pass, right? Sorry, man. I'm like so like out of it right now. I just got home from work. I'm just like out of it. Game Pass sales. That's the thing. Like the sales of Game Pass, I could give two shits about, to be honest. I don't. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I sit here and say, oh, it's not profitable or anything. I don't say anything like that. I don't care if it's profitable. All I care about is that people are playing these games, and then we get more games. Like that's all I care about. Because if people play these games on Game Pass or wherever they're going to play them, we get more games that way. So it's a win-win situation, in my opinion.
Okay. Retro, what's your thoughts on this?
All right, so overall, I don't actually give a fuck. I don't care. But the simple answer is content. They need games to push Game Pass. They need games, and I think a little bit of what we're seeing is just the lack of big tentpole releases on the service. Interest has dwindled a little bit over the year, and I think that's the reason. I think that's why they're hitting their ceiling on console at the moment, is because there's nothing really big to play. And I think next year, once they've got their ducks in order and the games start releasing a bit more consistently, I think we're going to see an uptick in it. It is what it is, man. I can't change what MS has done with their release schedules, but that's their answer. The answer is content, isn't it?
Yeah,
I would think so. I think for me, it's content. I mean, you have Scorn, you have High on Life coming out in, I think it's December. Stalker 2 is supposed to come out. I think somebody was saying something on another podcast. Pentiment was supposed to be coming out or something like that. So I mean,
it's still coming out. Pentiment's still coming out.
What is that, next month or December?
Pentiment's coming out November 15th.
November 15th. Okay. And I mean, you have games and that stuff. It's just
also sorry. Another very big, gigantic game is coming to Game Pass, and everyone's sleeping on it. I don't know why. Football Manager 2023 is coming out November 8th. That's all I'm saying.
What game?
Football Manager.
Football. Oh, shit. Who gives a...
It's only the biggest sport in the world, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, only on that side of the country.
What game was that?
Nobody gives a fucks about it.
Again, it's only the biggest sport in the world.
What game was
Isn't there like a fucking war on your continent? Aren't y'all busy with that shit? Who cares about
We
football,
still play football, man. It's how we pass time.
Okay?
Oh, it's a football game.
Based on that, everyone should stop gaming, Wise. You're not so wise.
Okay. You guys even
What is
got the
that
name
name? Is
wrong.
that like a decoration?
The
Name is
fucking
just
game
a
is called
decoration,
soccer.
or it's an
The fucking game is
oxymoronic
called
Oh,
name?
soccer.
the game is called football by the people that invented it. You know what I mean? What you call football? I mean, how many times do you actually kick the ball per game? You handle the ball more.
Well,
We can't
it's
play
not a
the
lot.
fucking
I can tell
game.
you that.
Yeah,
We
we
can't
use
play
your
the
hands, man. It's football. The clue's in the title.
How the hell did we get
Very
on the sports
simple.
here and that stuff? Okay, so, but I do agree. I think it is content. I think they need a little bit more. I think it's the first party. People are waiting for first party and that stuff. So let me ask Jim. Jim, do you have Game Pass for PC? And if you do, are you using it and using it a lot
No.
on both?
No.
No and no.
Yes, that is correct.
Wow. Why don't you have Game Pass PC?
Because I've already got a large enough backlog as is. 800 games.
You need to have Game Pass PC.
Yeah, and then that'll give me more than 800 games. So yeah, I've already got a backlog to work through.
Oh man! Oh my God!
It's not my fault. I have like 829 games.
Actually, it is, but okay.
Okay, so let
It is
me ask this. And then,
literally your fault.
Yeah, I
Whose
know.
fault?
And once I start my new job here, which I actually finally just got confirmation on yesterday, so yay. Yeah, that number's probably going to be going up. So yes, it is my fault.
There we go. The first step to recovery is acknowledging we have a problem.
Recovery. I ain't recovering. Nope.
What's the problem?
Supposedly me having too many games.
How the fuck is that a problem?
Hey
I'm
man,
saying, how-
he's
I
the
don't
one
know,
who's
that
saying
one
that
is
he's
not
not
a
paying for
problem.
Game Pass because he's
How
got
is
too many
having
games.
too many games a problem? That's like saying having too many hookers is a problem. How is that a problem?
It's not. I got a
It just
backlog
means you
large
don't
enough
play the
that'll keep me
games.
busy.
That's all it means.
I mean,
That's all that really means.
okay, geez, I have a problem where I got too
That's
many
a big
STDs, but that's a
backlog,
different story. That's a problem. Having too many games is not a problem.
well, okay, so let me ask everybody this. I'm going to start with Dark on this. Okay, so that's what we found out with Game Pass, but then also Phil Spencer sat there and said that there is a possibility that we don't know if it's the near future or not. I would think it would be, especially when they come out with their own games and that stuff next year, Starfield, Redfall, whatever, that the price is going to go up. And the price of possibly, the console, maybe their games, that kind of thing. How do you honestly think that is going to affect them? Do you think it's going to affect people subbing to Game Pass? And by you subbing to Game Pass, is that going to bother you? Say it goes up to $20 a month. Is that going to be a big deal to you?
To me, no, because I don't subscribe to Game Pass.
Wow.
But I think, yeah, I'm not a subscription type of person. I like to own and have my games, ready on the fly.
Same here.
I don't. It just depends on who, is willing to spend that much money. I think for some people it might be too much. Some people might say 20-25 bucks is too much or whatever. Some people might say, well, the value is still there. It just depends, to be honest, on the type of gamer and things like that. I personally don't see $20 being that much of a problem. I think Xbox will still sell fairly decently. I mean they're selling now really good. They're some of the I mean yeah, they're still in quote unquote third place or whatever, but they are selling really well, and I think they're doing a lot better than they did last generation. So they're in a good spot, and I think even if they do raise the prices, it just depends on how much they're going to raise them to. Because with the whole games Xbox Live Gold, they tried to raise that price and people weren't too happy about it. So I think it really just depends on how they do it and how much it's going to be.
Okay. Luke, what's your thoughts on if Game Pass gets raised in price? Maybe the console, maybe their games, more Game Pass than anything. Is that going to bother you? And are you still going to subscribe? Is there a point? Is there a price that you will sit there and say, I'm not going over this price for a subscription service?
Okay. So I can only speak from my perspective. So my perspective is someone that lives in a region where there's no physical games. Like you guys bitch about GameStop and all that stuff. I wish I had fucking GameStop. I wish there was a place where I could rock up and buy a whole bunch of physical games for 20, 30 bucks. We don't have that here. I need to literally get my passport and drive 612 kilometers to South Africa, which till today is the only country in the whole of Africa that has like a proper secondhand or like brick and mortar stores like GameStop. South Africa is the only one. So it wouldn't be an issue for me because before Game Pass, I could only buy one game a month, and I would buy 12 games average. Okay, so the math that I do and many people in my region do is okay, $100 because we pay $100 per game. Like new games, we pay 100. We don't pay 60. $100 times 12, and our average is 1,200. That's why mobile games don't do well in our region because we don't have like $5 every few minutes to just throw at a mobile game. So we look at $100 times 12. That's 1,200. Until Game Pass is exactly $1,200 total on an annual basis. No one is going to bat an eye, at least in my region. And even then, it's still not something that's going to make people be like, oh, I'm not going to pay for this, because with $1,200, you're getting 12 games, 12 new games. Or with $1,200, you're getting the entire Xbox catalog, everything, and a bunch of third-party games that they will sprinkle in there. So it's going to be a mission. It's going to be very hard for Xbox to remove the value proposition from Game Pass in terms of price increase. So even if they pushed it up to like $50 a month, it would still be reasonable compared to what we have to deal with now, which is we don't have that much capital to be buying 4, 5, 6 games a month. So even if they pushed it up to $60 per month, it would be, I was going to spend $60 anyway on a game. Now I'm going to spend $60 and I'm going to get everything that Xbox has.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
All right. Well, Triple just popped in and that stuff. How are you doing tonight, Triple?
I am tired, but I'm here.
Okay. Well, I'm going to hit you with the net with this question then. Is it a big deal? First, do you have Game Pass? And then second, is it a big deal that it goes up in price? And is there a price that you will not go over for this for a subscription?
So I do have Game Pass, specifically Game Pass Ultimate, so PC, console, and xCloud with Xbox Live. I'm trying to think. The price that I'm thinking of whenever I hear the price point possibly going up is 20 is the most I'm willing to pay before I really start to say, okay, now they're going too far. Let me bust out the checkbook and see my bills, et cetera, before it really starts to have a huge effect on me, I guess to say. So is it a big deal? I mean, as a consumer, anytime prices go up, it's a big deal. No one likes to pay more money just because. But and how can I put it? Because I've seen people say if you understand it, that means you're okay with it. Not necessarily. I've seen people say, yeah, the price go up, that's inevitable. But I don't think people are saying they're okay with it. And that's kind of the same process. Like I understand that's definitely inevitable with, this Activision deal goes through, then that's just a lot more games. Well, with how Sony's doing a COD deal, we don't know how many games are going to go to Game Pass, but that's a lot more games going into the service. And like Loke said, the amount, like if it goes up to 20, that's like 240 a year. And that's what just a quick little maths real quick. That's like three, give or take 3-4 games, brand new games a year at full price at 70. So the value would still be there depending on how much I play every year. And that's pretty much going to be the main deciding factor is if I'm making sure that I'm getting my value's worth. So yeah, $20 is when we're starting to reach that dicey territory. But I mean, I understand if it ever goes up, but again, I'm not a fan because more money. No one likes to pay more money. But one thing I
Sony
also
like to pay more money.
yeah, I mean, I've seen people say, yeah, I'm willing to pay 100 for a brand new game if it means quality. I don't know about that for me personally, but then the last thing I kind of want to point out at is the reference for the Xbox Live going up. And I understand people in that situation getting really upset because Microsoft just came out and said, hey, Xbox Live is more because like that's it. No really major difference in value change there. Whereas with Game Pass, a lot of people can say even right now, like it's so the value you get there is so much that if it were to go up again, no one's a fan of it, but you can understand why it went up. And me personally, I'm kind of if it does, which they've already hinted at, I'm hoping they don't do a crazy huge price jump to 20 a year or 20 a month. But if it's maybe a bump to 18 for the standard ultimate and maybe 12 or 13 for the Game Pass for console or separate for PC, that's the ideal situation. But only time will tell. So kind of rambling here, but like I said, not a fan of it. Spending more money sucks either way, but 20 is the most I'm willing to go at the moment. So
Okay, Retro. What's your thoughts on if for a price increase on Game Pass and that? I mean, is there a price that you wouldn't go over?
It's a hard question, man, because it's not just me that uses Game Pass in my house. It's my son, it's my wife. So to me, it would be hard to say. I mean, I pay $13.99 a month at the minute. Do I see it going up? Yes, I do expect it to go up at some point. I'm not under any illusions it won't. But see, it's hard to put a number on the worth for me because it's not just me using it. You know what I mean? Like, I get quite a bit of worth out of my subscription as is, just because the amount of people that get to use it. So, yeah, basically, my son and wife would dictate that. It would be as long as they continue to use the service, I'm going to continue to pay for it.
Okay, Wise.
Well,
What's
I
your
mean,
thoughts?
I think what they're going to do, what they're going to do is next year it's going to be a litmus test. I think they're going to release Starfield. They're going to release Redfall. I think this whole Activision thing is going to go through, and if Starfield hits as they are hoping it does, and Redfall, of course, follows suit, and they are able to do with Call of Duty, which what I think they're going to try to do, which is put it in Game Pass, then heck yeah, they're going to raise the price because why not? If you can get more money from your consumer base, then that's it's just a go-to. And if, to be honest with you, if they are able to put Call of Duty on Game Pass, I think that $5 increment increase is not going to matter to many people, if anybody at all, because it's like a no-brainer for them. So personally speaking, will $5 affect me? No, because my kids play it all the time. It's the most inexpensive way for me to give them as all the games that without going in and constantly buying it and stuff like that. So for my family, I mean, yeah, it's worth the price, even a $5 bump, even right now. But I think what they're going to do is they're going ahead. They're sort of like testing the waters right now. They're going ahead and putting it out there, and they're just waiting for some of their big hitters to come through and hit like they're supposed to. And again, as I said, they're waiting for this whole Activision thing to sort of fall where it is. And again, if they can get all of that stuff, like if they can get the Blizzard stuff onto Game Pass, like think about World of Warcraft. I mean, I know many people have moved on to Final Fantasy, but World of Warcraft still has a sizable user base, and Diablo. And if they can get all of those games on Game Pass, then heck yeah, they're going to say, yeah, go up $5 and nobody's going to bat an eye. So yeah, that's my thought on it.
Okay. Jim, what's your thoughts on this? And then we're going to get into Triple's topic.
I mean, as far as like the whole price increase, I don't care for the price increase, but it is what it is. It's going to probably happen, but again, I'm the kind of person that says, fine, I vote with my wallet. So if I do not feel that the price increase is worth the value, I'm just not going to pay it. So, and that goes for pretty much anything.
Sorry, I just want to add something real quick. There's something we're not considering. I think it was 2 months ago, Xbox rolled out the family plan in Ireland and I think it's Venezuela or Bolivia or something, and and parts of the US and Mexico. So essentially they add 4 additional licenses attached to the main account. So I think that's also going to play a big role in whatever increase they make.
Luke, isn't that going to be? I think it was around like $25 too.
The thing is, it's not confirmed as being the final price, but yes, it was confirmed as $25.
Now, here's the other question: you can put that on other consoles too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Other consoles and 4 additional accounts. Like independent.
That be something that I would wind up doing for my son in that, and then my stepson, because he has Game Pass. I don't care about my wife because she don't game anymore, so who cares about her? But yeah, it's just
you should.
it is. It's just,
right? Yeah, like you might she
her
can
to
come in
the
the
damn
room
curb.
and hit you with a chancla.
And that's how Microsoft became so big.
Yeah,
That's how they took over PC with these little tiny services where they create a structure where when you look at it, it's like I'm getting so much value for what I'm paying for, while they still kicking your ass in terms of like bottom line. So
yeah,
you're looking at the savings. We're all looking at the savings. Like, this family plan could be the nuclear bomb. It could be, but the ultimate plan of Microsoft is for everyone to migrate onto their platform, not to make the profit right now. The idea now is just to get people to plug in, and then we can plug out 4 or 5 years down the line.
I think the only thing that would deter people from getting either the family plan or even Game Pass in general would be if the value of it depleted, and I don't ever see that happening. So the price increase, I mean, eventually at some point it would have to cap off at a certain price, but I think if like Luke said, 50, $60, if it goes to $60 a month, I think a lot of people will still subscribe to it because they get like over what 300 400 games a month. That's a lot of games that you can play and do all that stuff. So I mean, but I don't think it'll ever get to 60 50 or $60. I don't think they'll ever dare to do that unless inflation completely keeps going up, especially here in the States. As you guys know, here in the States we're dealing with an inflation crisis right now. So, if it keeps going up, then that might be a possibility, but I don't see it happening.
I can see them doing it. Sony's only doing what they're doing now because of the market leader. As
Right.
soon as Microsoft becomes
of the
number
market leader.
one, dude, it's not. They're not gonna be like the Saints and they want to be the good guys and what. No, that's not how they're gonna play anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it just depends on where the market goes,
All right, I want to jump into a topic that Triple brought up, and I actually thought it's a great topic in that. So the ABK deal goes through. Microsoft has Call of Duty, all the Activision stuff, everything. So then Microsoft goes and takes Call of Duty away from Sony, from PlayStation. I'm going to start with you, Dark. What franchise or what franchises, plural, would you actually want Sony to bring back that I'm not going to sit there and say that can definitely compete with Call of Duty, but is there, a game or games that they're keeping in the background and that stuff? We all heard like SOCOM, but is there something else that you want to see them bring back that could sit there and fill that first person shooter, that multiplayer, itch in that? Is there something out there that you think they could?
Honestly, I think the only thing that would be SOCOM, to be honest. Because SOCOM is that franchise that a lot of people want back. I don't think Killzone could do it because I mean they've been trying for years to kill Halo. They've been trying to kill everything,
Yeah.
with Killzone, and it hasn't worked for them. So, I don't see PlayStation if they lose COD. I don't see them trying to compete in a way. I mean, maybe this new Deviation Games game that's supposed to come out might have some sort of inkling of competition, but who knows? Because these guys are the ones who came from COD. They're Call of Duty ex devs, and so it might be a good game, but it doesn't mean that it's going to take out the juggernaut, which is Call of Duty. That's going to be hard. I mean, the only other game that I think could take out Call of Duty would be Battlefield. And look at what 2042 did. It did ridiculously bad. So, it can't. I don't see any other game doing that. At one point I did think that Halo could do it, but unfortunately, Halo, it's for me it's not the same. It's not like on the original Xbox or the original or the 360 era where we had Halo 1, 2, and 3, and then Reach and stuff. So it's not in that state anymore, which is fine. I understand they have to grow and change things. But yeah, I don't see any game really from Sony taking on the juggernaut that is Call of Duty.
So okay, so let me ask you this: like Killzone, Resistance, nothing like that.
Resistance. I mean, Resistance would probably. I mean, I would love another Resistance for sure. I love the first three games, and it would be awesome to see another one. But I don't think Resistance has the the withstand to even compete against Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just, even today I was, working with a coworker, and her son was texting her that she needs to pick him up the new Call of Duty. Like he was telling her, like, you need to pick up the new Call of Duty, ma, like things like that, and like, Call of Duty is just so huge, man. It's hard to even compete against.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, because the guy that I was working with today, and that he's like, yo, did you pick up the new Call of Duty? I'm like, no. He's like, you didn't? I'm like, no. I says, I'm not that multiplayer junkie anymore. I don't have
Right.
that. But I'm like, you know what? Now that I'm sitting there thinking about it, and then I'm on, Loke's show, it's like, because I want to get him the Burger King, whatever the hell that is, the Burger King suit or something like that.
Yeah, the big king, the big king. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but the one thing I will say though, there's only two games that if they take it away from PlayStation would make me go completely 180 and go back to Xbox, would be Overwatch and Assassin's Creed. So if they got both of those on Xbox and they were never going to be on PlayStation ever again, I'd probably be like, well, GameStop, here you go. Here's my PlayStation, because I love those games, and I can't not be like, oh, I'm not gonna get, I mean, I probably still keep my PlayStation for the exclusives and stuff, but I would definitely want an Xbox for those games.
Okay. Loke, what about you? I mean, is there one game? Is there a couple of games? Is there a bunch of games that Sony, like I said, I'm not sitting there saying that could compete against Call of Duty, because like Dark was sitting there saying, and I think pretty much the whole panel would sit there and say, there's really not much that can actually compete with Call of Duty. But is there one game or a couple games that you'd like to see PlayStation bring back that is in that vault and everything?
First off, this is a question that I would probably put in my quiz time, where the answer is in the question. Guys, there was a time when everyone was like, who's going to beat Halo? That happened. There was a time
That
when
is
people
true.
were like, "Who's-"
No, but for all due respects, Halo is the one who beat Halo. So yeah.
regardless.
I mean, Halo kind of
Regardless,
just died,
the point
but
still
yeah.
stands. There was a time when people, well, there weren't podcasts like this one, but there was a time when the community in general sat down the way we're sitting now, and everyone's like, yo, nothing can beat Halo.
You mean them
Yeah.
LAN parties, man? Oh, back in the day, those things were fun, man. I had a lot of fun
Yeah.
doing that.
Well, for
So-
every Medal of Honor, there was COD. So yeah.
So based
Ooh,
on
you
that,
know what? I just thought about it. Medal of Honor. If they could bring that back and it'd be good.
but my final answer to that would be, take Bungie, have a chat, and release Destiny 3 exclusive. And then let's see what happens.
Well, you
Get
can't
not-
say
get-
that. No.
get-
Hold up. How can you say
Let
Destiny?
me
3?
finish.
There's
Let me
Destiny
finish.
2.
Let me finish.
Okay.
They signed the deal. Bungie said that they're gonna continue to be multi-platform, etc. But contracts get revised. Companies for millennia now have been saying one thing, and then 2 or 3 years later, it's not that anymore. Take Bungie, do one of these backdoor deals, make Destiny 3, get Naughty Dog in to write the story, do all the cinematography, let Bungie deal with the actual gameplay, and let's see what's up.
Personally, I'd like them to bring back
disagree.
Mag.
No.
If anyone remembers that game.
Ooh,
Mag,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm not saying it would compete with COD, but it would be a nice different kind of angle, you know, the massive multiplayer, multi-facing fights and stuff like that. I mean, it could work. They could at least get a niche out of the market. I don't think it'd compete with COD, like, but
Well, here's the
I
big
like to see.
You know what? I wanted to sit there. Actually, Retro, you bringing that up and that stuff. I think that would really. It might not compete with Call of Duty, but that would definitely compete against Battlefield, just because of, like you were sitting there saying, that's 256 players when it was on PS3. I mean, oh my God, that would.
See,
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Here's the problem, and this is why I think Mag would work. And what was that other game that we first talked about for the PlayStation? What was that other one that y'all first?
Come or Resistance.
SOCOM, yeah. The reason that I don't think Destiny 3, 4, 5 would work is because you do have Destiny 2 right now. Even when
Something's wrong with your audio.
Not
Oh,
mine.
he's back. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah. So can y'all please turn down that a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
There.
and this is coming from my kids, okay? Like they didn't even like that Call of Duty that was what was it, Infinite, the one that was done in the future or something like that.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare or Infinite. They were
Right.
both future. Yeah.
Yeah, they hated it. They want something like current, or maybe not World War II, but something pseudo current, maybe something that is more realistic, as opposed to Destiny is like really fantastical and stuff. And so that's why I don't think that your idea, Loke, would work, because now what they can do is have, as you said, they have Bungie in their pocket. They can take the SOCOM brand and have Bungie basically develop that brand for them. But it has to be something that is geared, or sort of has a foundation in something that is like realistic, for lack of a better word, you know? So that's why I think that, you know, they need to do something that is, as you said, SOCOM would work, because it is grounded in, it's based in like something that could happen in the real world. Mag could work because it was based on something in the real world. So yeah, they can't chase after Destiny. They can't chase after Titanfall or any of those type of more futuristic shooters, because that's sort of in a subgenre of its own that Call of Duty is not really competing with, if you will. So yeah.
Okay. Well, Retro, you were sitting there, you were talking about Mag and that. Is there something else? I mean, me personally, I'd like to see Killzone come back. I was always a big Killzone fan, but is there something else that you would want to see besides Mag, or is it just Mag would do perfectly fine for you?
Oh no, if I had my choice, it'd be SOCOM, without a doubt. I loved SOCOM growing up, man. But for me, that would be my personal pick. I'm just thinking of what appealed to, you know, a widest audience as possible. I'm not sure which one between the two would be more popular.
All right. I was going to ask something, but you know what? I'll wait and that stuff. Jim, is there something that you would want to see PlayStation?
That's all day.
You don't have any something out there that you would care to say?
I mean, as far as the whole, you know, first question, no, it would be a dumb idea for Call of Duty to be taken off PlayStation. You'd be essentially kneecapping yourself. As far as competitive brands, I wouldn't say there's anything yet, but the closest thing I can think of would be bringing back SOCOM or Navy SEALs or whatever it was called.
Yep.
From back in the PS2 days, because that was actually one of the first multiplayer games that were like using the integrated online function of the PlayStation 2. You know, just obviously modernize it for, you know, modern day consoles, but there you go. That would be in its own self, and it was a big hit back in the day.
Okay. Triple, this is your topic. What's your thoughts?
So I do agree with SOCOM in terms of trying to get that military shooter, more grounded in realism, like Wise was saying. But I just keep going back to Killzone specifically, and the main thing here is like you have Bungie, which were the creators of Halo, and then you have Killzone, which was supposed to be the Halo killer. You know, get some input from them, and there you go. You got the.
You
That's
guys
actually
keep
a good
talking
angle, you
about.
know.
No,
That's
no.
actually
Wait a minute. Wait a
good
minute.
angle.
Wait, I if you're gonna say Wise that the team might not be the original team might not be there, maybe. But what are you about to say?
You all keep talking about Killzone. Did everyone forget Resistance? I thought Resistance was
No,
better.
Resistance. Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. Like Resistance, like those franchises in particular, they don't want to sit on just one. They definitely SOCOM, Killzone, Resistance. But I mean, looking at Killzone, there's just how it's. Of course, it's in the future, but I think when it came to the gunplay and everything like that, it was still military to a certain degree. I know you had like future radiation weapons, but I think Killzone would be pretty good as well. But Resistance as well would be pretty cool because you could do a lot with the multiplayer. I mean, with both games, you could have a solid PvP foundation, but also a flood firefight style thing, especially with Resistance and the different creatures in that universe. So yeah, I guess it's really just the main three is SOCOM, Resistance, and Killzone. But again, as I said, if you get Bungie to help with Killzone and really try to get that franchise back up, then I think that would be a good pick as well. So it's not really about a COD competitor, just more so like a fun question on like what would be a possible replacement or not replacement, but fill in a gap as it were. So yeah,
alternate basically.
Yeah, exactly.
See the reason why I loved Killzone so much, and I don't know how many people played the game on the panel and that stuff, but they used to have
Trilogy
this.
was pretty good. Well,
okay, so you did you play the second one?
Yeah, I played all three of them. I never finished Shadowfall. As much as I bring up Killzone, it's like I tried Shadowfall. I started and I stopped.
Well,
yeah,
Shadowfall was terrible. So
yeah.
But see, but you would know what I'm talking about. They had, and I have yet to see any game do this, and it was, I mean, this is the only game I've ever seen, and it just made playing multiplayer so much better. It was, it might have been Guerrilla Warfare, where they went and they took, it was either 4 or 5 different multiplayer modes. So you would have team deathmatch, say you would have domination, capture the flag, in the Killzone thing, and it would just turn over. Once the team won, you'd go straight right into the next one. There was no intermission or anything like that. You would hear the voice come over. It would change, team deathmatch. And then all of a sudden it would be capture the flag and that stuff. And you just, the play on that, it was intense, but it was fun. It was, you had something to constantly keep breaking up, the monotony of, okay, we have Call of Duty, so you have, ground war. Then you got, team deathmatch or free for all, and that's all you're playing. The Killzone, it was, 4 or 5 different modes, and it just made the game. I think the game so much better in that stuff. That's why I went more towards Killzone than I did Halo and that. But I mean, it's just me and that stuff. So,
see what takes
Go
me
ahead,
back. What takes me kind of for a loop was like everyone here has fond memories of Killzone, and I grant you it's a good game, but I just thought Resistance sort of played better. I mean, it had a better, I guess,
it did.
overall feel of a game, if you will. And I looked through, through rose-colored glasses. I mean, I always thought that Resistance was just an all-in-all better game than Killzone.
That's the thing. I always saw Resistance as more of a single player type of game than a multiplayer.
Yeah,
I always saw more Killzone as a multiplayer than I did Resistance.
Yeah, I never did play the multiplayer side of Resistance, but I remember reading like reviews about it and hearing that it was a pretty solid game, and wasn't like 60. I might be remembering wrong. Wasn't like 64 players or something? Yeah. So
number 2.
yeah,
They cut it back in the third one for some reason.
I get you. So the main reason I kind of lean more towards Killzone is that although it was definitely futuristic, especially in different whole planet, but it still had that more military style to the gameplay. Whereas with Resistance, you find the Chimera, you got all these different alien tech.
Mhm.
So again, if we're speaking about familiar weaponry, you still get creative. I think Killzone would work pretty well, but I mean, just being honest with you, if we got Resistance or Killzone, I'd be happy. So, but I don't know, Killzone, again, I'm kind of just repeating myself here, but if it was built up to try to be the Halo killer before, now you can kind of get Bungie's input and just revive the franchise and try it again. So, but a lot of options. Well, really 3 options there.
The
Well, you
biggest
bring up-
dilemma they
bring-
have. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
No,
go
you
ahead.
bring up a good point that, Bungie could come back. That's the thing. Anybody could bring these franchises back, but are they going to be good? That's the problem. Is because you can bring a
Yeah.
franchise back. I mean, how many times have they tried to bring back some of these old games like what was that one? God, it was on the 360. It was
Describe
oh god, it was a horror game.
Banjo-Kazooie?
Horror game? A horror game.
It was a horror game. No, not Banjo-Kazooie. It was
Condemned? Fear?
not
Alone in the
Condemned,
Dark?
Not Fear. Alone in the Dark. They tried to bring that franchise back, and what happened? It sucked, right?
Yeah.
So, and then Golden Axe, they tried to bring that back. That sucked. It's like
Well, they
can
also
bring
tried
back
to do it in a way that it didn't work either.
right, exactly. So it's like it has to work. It has to be good, and if you, especially if you want to have something that sort of rivals Call of Duty, it has to be good. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. Call of Duty now, it doesn't even, the game might not even have to be good because Call of Duty isn't good anyway. So
Personally, I think
Uh,
so.
I mean,
I think the biggest problem that anyone who's going to be trying to go toe to toe with Call of Duty is going to have is that Call of Duty has something that none of these other. Say for example, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say for example, Sony buys the Medal of Honor license, tells Bungie to make a new Medal of Honor. Okay, because that's who Call of Duty sort of supplanted, was Medal of Honor back in the day, and they make a Medal of Honor for 2023, 2024, and it's like phenomenal. It's like a 10 out of 10 game, right? It still will have a massive uphill battle against COD because COD has a gateway drug and it's called Warzone. And you cannot diminish the impact Warzone is having on just COD's overall perception. You have these kids, it's a free-to-play game, they're playing Warzone all the time, they're socializing on Warzone, and I can speak from personal experience because that's what my kid is doing right this second while I'm streaming. And so when another COD comes out, oh my god, okay, I played Warzone, now let me play this game. So it just goes in fashion. To talk about Karen and the soccer mom Karen, when she goes to GameStop or wherever to buy a game for little Timmy during Christmas, it's like, okay, oh yeah, I know he plays Call of Duty Warzone, let me go pick up this other Call of Duty. So that is really their ace in the hole right there, is that Warzone game that is just making money hand over fist for them. So until you
that's
can
free
have
to play though too, so they don't have to go out and buy it.
They don't have to, but it's the gateway drug to the
factor.
actual game. That's what I'm saying. It's the gateway drug to the actual one. So until there's an answer for Warzone, there will not be an answer for COD.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, I'm going to move on to another topic. It'll probably be the last topic of the night because since it's Halloween weekend, and I know Triple is definitely in the genre that I really like in gaming and that stuff, but I wanted to get everybody's favorite horror games. If you're into horror games, I'm not 100% sure.
Good topic.
But the Dark, I'm going to start with you, but your best, I'm going to say your top 5 best horror games you have ever played. And if they're older games and that stuff, would you like to see any of them remade?
Splatterhouse, Evil Within.
Oh shit.
Did I take one of yours?
Splatterhouse.
Like,
Yo,
yeah.
Dark. I've been sitting there and I've been looking for it on Amazon, and it's
yeah,
like
man, it's
almost
expensive, dude.
$100.
I know,
And
dude.
then
I'm
I
like,
see it on
oh,
eBay. Yeah, it's like, and my wife used
annoying.
to have it on the 360. I'm
Mhm.
like, why the hell did I ever get rid of
Yeah.
that? What a stupid idiot I am.
Yeah.
But-
So Splatterhouse, Evil Within, Dead Space, and let's see what else. Resident Evil, and I'd probably
Pig.
say Peppa
Peppa the
Pig.
Pig.
You could say that's a horror game for adults. Yeah, definitely.
Oh my
You know,
God.
especially if you got kids and they're playing that game. I'm trying to think of like
SpongeBob, especially how Doom plays it.
Yo, SpongeBob was great. SpongeBob alone. Bastard.
Oh, the horror, the
trying to
horror.
think of the last one. Like, what would be my last one there? 'Cause I have 4, right? Four of them, 5.
Zelda
Probably-
64 with those
probably-
zombies.
Probably the PS2
that
game
was actually
Cure.
kind of scary, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know if anybody's ever played Cure.
Read
Fear?
that.
Beer. Oh my God.
No,
yeah.
Cure. It's
Cure.
It's called Cure. Yeah, on PlayStation 2. It was like kind of like a it's like where you're like high school kids and you're kind of like trapped in this is it Cure? Let me make sure I got the name right. PlayStation 2. Not past Cure. It's not called Cure. Now I can't remember what it's called now. Great.
Can anybody
Well,
help me out?
I'll go with Fear. Fear, like especially Fear 2 was fucking phenomenal.
Oh
That
my
game,
God, yeah.
scary as
Yeah.
hell. Or even Doom 3. Like Doom 3 was phenomenal. Like on the original Xbox, it was like, holy shit, you know, like seeing Doom go from this, sprite, 3D sprite to full on 3D and it be a horror game, that was like, oh shit, this is awesome. So yeah, those games were really good.
Okay. Triple. How about you? I want to hear what you have to say.
So let me think for a second. Well, first off, how can I word this properly? I'm curious as to what gave you the impression that I was the huge horror guy amongst us. Like, I do like horror, but not to an insane degree, if that makes sense. But
Ooh, that plays into what I want the show to be, going down the line then. That plays good.
I mean,
good.
I can definitely go scare myself or go through the backlog and start playing them all. But
Obscure. That's the game I was talking about. Obscure. Sorry. So
So,
I had one of it right.
So we're already getting one that's going to be remade, but Dead Space easily, like, that's not only just one of my favorite games of all time when it came to horror games, but just games in general. The first the Fear trilogy, rather, really, that franchise was really good in the sense that it scared the shit out of me. And it was mentioned earlier with Doom 3 as well. Like, trying to get through that game for myself personally, it was actually a bit of a struggle for me. We're already getting Resident Evil. Specifically, recall Resident Evil 0 being another game that really scared me. I think there was a scene in 0 where you had to go to the restroom, and it was like, what were those the red ones called? Or not even, I think it was like, shit, I can't, Worm Guy or whatever his name. I don't remember who it was specifically, but
The Liquor?
no, it was someone else. I had to look up the clip myself, but there's a specific name to him. But I remember this vividly when I was playing the game, and this is probably a little embarrassing story for myself, but I remember going into the bathroom. I think you had to pick up like a gasoline container in the bathroom, and I did. as I was as you're leaving the bathroom, like that creepy music
Oh my god.
starts up, and I kid you not, if I'm recalling correctly, it was so long ago that I paused the game. I ran screaming out of the house, and my family was leaving. I was like, "Hey, so can I leave with you guys? I'm not trying to play the game right now." Like, that's that really happened to me. So, crap, how many numbers is that? Dead Space, Fear, Resident Evil Zero. I tried. Man, it's not even my. I played a bit of it, and it was going dip into the VR territory when I did play through it. Phasmophobia was the time that I did put in that. Like that was very like just being in that atmosphere and trying to figure things out. And you got like just the lights flickering, like where you're in the VR headset environment and actually playing through that. That really had me going there. The problem was when we played with like a random guy, he like speed ran through the whole house. And that
Doom,
was-
let Loke back in.
oh,
Yeah, he's in. He's in.
okay.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, and I also did say Doom. So I did also just close here. I did try out a little bit. Not Amnesia. Crap, what's the other
Amnesia's
one?
a good one.
Not Amnesia. It's the one where you're mostly running around. You got the camera. What is
Outlast?
that? Outlast. There we go. Yeah, that being in that. No, I'm not too much of a fan of like horror games that don't give you the option to fight back, but the fact that you can't and you're just going through I think you're like in a hospital, the opening section, and you're just sneaking around trying to investigate with your camera, and then you fall through and just going through the hallways, being hunted when you go underground into the sewer or basement area, trying to hide under the bed. I'm just like, I don't like this game, but that's because it was horror, and it was doing it right essentially. And I would point out, I know I'm above 5 here. I would point out Evil Within, but there's just something about it that it didn't really grab me too much. And I'm currently playing through the second one as well. So, but that's where I'm at right now. So,
Okay. Loke, your top 5 horror games, since it's our Halloween show, what are your top 5 horror games that you have ever played?
I can't give you 5 because I'm not a big horror guy.
Okay.
So first I would say Resident Evil 7.
Nice.
A lot of the Resident Evil games, they're just kind of, I don't know, just icky. But 7 was genuinely terrifying. Like, I'm a grown ass man and I'm having nightmares about Resident Evil 7.
Dude, I have nightmares of Resident Evil 7.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Especially the grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
going
grandma.
into the
Yeah.
basement with was it like the morgue
Mhm.
downstairs?
Yeah, man.
Open, you just turn around, it's like, oh shit. Just oh,
Right?
man.
For me, it was the car in the garage. I thought I killed the motherfucker and he's back up. And then I thought I killed him the second time, and then he's up again. And I panicked so many times during that game. It was just,
That's when
it
you
was
just call in a
ridiculous.
tactical
For me, that-
airstrike.
some people might say that it's recency bias because it's a newish game or whatever, but I don't give a shit, man. I've never been so scared in my life. And genuinely considering, like, is it worth playing this thing? Am I even playing the game? Why did I pay for this? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 7, other games that kind of scared me, the Medium. It's not very big on gore, but psychological. It's one of those. I don't know if you guys know the Russian torturer. I'm forgetting his name. Gorbov or Gorvov or something like that. A legendary Russian torturer who apparently perfected the art of making the person torture themselves mentally. And the Medium for me is the closest that I've gotten to that, because like you read the notes and then the sound, it's very eerie. So yeah, Resident Evil 7, the Medium, and the rest of the usual classics, Amnesia, Layers of Fear, etc. But yeah,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 and a medium for me.
Kim, you're rocking in your rocking chair. Horror games. Give me 5 of your best.
I don't really play horror games, but the one that I can give you would be Life.
Nice. The board game or the
No, real life. As
I know,
in
I
the
know.
things I see daily.
He's like, I walk down the street and I see something horrifying.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, let's just say I live close enough to New York City where I just see people doing stupid things on a daily basis, and it's like, well, that genuinely horrifies me. Oh, look, they're about to hit somebody. Here we go again.
Sounds about right in LA too.
Yeah. I would say New York's probably worse.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know, man. Philly's if you see my phone,
Rex.
at least
Hey,
Philly's like a kitty cat compared to New York and LA. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say compared to New
murder,
York, Philly, it's
getting
like
shot.
No. You think that's scary? Come to an Alabama Walmart. You'll see it.
Walmart.
Wow.
No, you just have the rednecks with lifted trucks and truck
Like,
nuts down
I
there.
didn't think a kid could be born with so few teeth. What the hell happened there?
Oh my god.
Dick
All right.
Hank
Well,
is right.
retro.
Florida. Yeah.
What 5 horror games would you do? What are
Siren,
your favorites?
Siren from the PS2 days. Any of the first 3 Resident Evils. Any of the first 3 Silent Hills. How many is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. I'm going to shout. I haven't heard it mentioned yet. Eternal Darkness, GameCube version.
Yeah, Eternal Darkness was the shit. I'm sorry, that was scary as hell.
So
Yeah,
far,
I love
nobody
that.
has hit any of mine. So I'm waiting in that stuff. I'm really waiting.
The one I'd really like
All
to see
right,
be
why?
Okay.
made is
Yeah.
you forgot the question. I want to see Silent Hill 1 done. I wasn't happy that they announced number 2 first.
I actually liked number 2 being announced. That was one of mine. So go ahead.
Can I
Okay, so-
add one more game? It's not really a horror, but it horrified me a lot. Manhunt.
Oh, motherfucker!
Yeah, that's a good call.
That was mine.
Manhunt.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was one of
Okay,
mine.
can you
too.
call
I
me
mean,
now, please? God darn it! You called everybody else. Can you call me now before everyone says one?
Yes, Wise. You're next. Go ahead.
Okay, Manhunt. That was one of mine. Okay, another one was Fatal Frame. I don't know if any of y'all played it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it was scary as all freaking because all you had was a camera and
Yeah.
God, it was scary. Another one was on the 360, the Condemned series. That thing was spooky as
Yes.
all
Yeah, they were
get out.
good.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2, mainly because like only a white guy would get a letter from his dead wife and go and visit the town that she's in. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
I mean
Yes. Yes.
My
Listen, we
wife,
get the tail where we can. We get it where we can.
I got a letter from my wife. I'm like, bitch, you better say where you're at. I got this new side piece. I'm sorry. I ain't coming. I'm sorry. And,
Don't
this fifth,
mention it, but I love the twist at the end of that story. I have to admit.
Yeah.
I am so
No spoilers.
grateful. Oh man! So I said Fatal Frame, Manhunt, Condemned, Silent Hill 2, and this is one. It wasn't really scary, but like, okay. So when this game came out, I was 8 years old, and this level
So the
of
game
this
came out in 1912.
Oh, dang.
Savage.
Yeah, me and your mama were playing it. Okay, so
Damn.
so no, but this okay. So the original
What is
Legend
going
of
on with this show?
the original Legend of Zelda, I made a mistake. I was exploring the world because you could go anywhere. It was the first open world at that time, and I went to Death Mountain and I bombed this one big
Ah.
boulder, and I
Yeah.
walked into Death Mountain for the first time. I had the white sword and I had the blue ring, and that music started playing. I'm like, oh hell no, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So that was scary. I could not. I had the master sword. I had the red ring eventually. I still could not bring myself to go into that freaking level. The music, the color, and then it was scary. I couldn't play it. So yeah.
No matter
The
how much of a
original Legend.
badass you are in that game, that is one of those. Yeah. It's
And then that
Yeah.
music that they have in the background, dun, 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 dun,
Mhm.
it's like
The,
different from everywhere.
What were those mummies or zombies in Ocarina of Time that were like in a town?
Yeah.
Like every time you saw them, they
Redeads.
made that scream. Like that creeped me
Redeads.
out. Like, oh my gosh.
So
Yeah,
those
Zelda
would be
has some scary moments in it, man. It really does.
but those were my 5.
All right. All right. So some of the best that I've played last year, I played Little Nightmares.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
game,
good
Yeah.
the way that those
You play 2?
people, I have not played 2
gotta
yet,
play
but
2,
I
man.
do have it, and that looks even more freakier than the first one.
It is.
Because the first one, you have these people, and it looks like they actually cut the faces off of other people, and they're just
Mhm.
the way it's designed. It looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
And
Oh wow.
listen, I loved that game. I loved Little Nightmares. But one okay, so of course Wise went and said about Condemned. I'd love to see that be remade. And then Luke sits there and says Manhunt, which I'd like to see that being remade. But here are 2 other ones I want to see remade. And one I've said this repeatedly over and over and over again. The Suffering. It was on
Oh,
PS2.
yeah,
Oh,
dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I would love to see that be remade. That would be really, really good. I think it was Midway who did the game. I was actually
Yeah,
looking
it
it
was
up the other
Midway.
day.
Mhm.
Okay. And I thought somebody should grab that IP and say, "Yo, let's take it." But I think WB might own it or something like that. But Sony or Xbox, go out and buy some IP, and then don't worry about developers. Go buy the IP, and then you own it, and then you can get your own people. But this is the other one I'd like to see brought back. Shell Shock. That game freaked me the hell out.
Yeah.
When you're Vietnam, you're down in a cellar, and it looked like Blair Witch all over. There's guys standing in the corner. It's dead dark. Nothing. I mean, you couldn't see anything in that stuff. I would love to see Shell Shock come back. But for me, and I know everybody is sat there and they've said about Resident Evil and that stuff. To me, the best horror franchise that I have played, even though the third one technically I don't think is really a horror game, but that's the Dead Space.
Yeah. Definitely.
But what I'm seeing with Callisto Protocol,
Oh, that looks good.
yo, I'm telling you what,
That looks good.
EA better have their shit together, because Callisto Protocol looks like it's going to even
on another
outdo
level, man.
the new Dead Space.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
I
gonna be
mean,
on a notch.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
They
That's
were
brewing
asked
for
if they
for them.
were gonna try to continue Dead Space, but maybe they'll see how the remake goes. Because not to go into a tangent, but I'm curious on like if this did well, would they reboot Dead Space, or would they just say, "Hey, we're gonna do 2, but we're gonna reimagine 2, but make the first one canon still"? Like that's a interesting thought.
I'm excited for both games. I cannot wait. I'm a huge horror fan. I love horror movies. I love horror games. So like that right there with Callisto Protocol. I just wish Callisto Protocol came out this month so I could play it right now. But
Yeah,
gotta
it
wait
should
till
come out this
December.
month, though.
But it was coming out.
It
this
should
month.
have.
It should
Yeah,
have, right? Yeah.
Well, God of War is coming out next month, so I mean that
Yeah,
is
there we
that.
go.
But
Everything stops
Here's one
being
thing that I found. I looked it up. Dead Space. I was like, yo, I says, there has to be a collector's edition for Dead Space. There has to be.
There isn't
And I
for a
couldn't
game.
find anything. Couldn't
There
find
is
nothing.
one. No, there
Yeah.
is one. And
Talking about
I
the newest
got
one,
Limited
or
Run Games is making it. Limited Run Games is making it with the helmet.
And I got
limited run.
Yeah.
250. I got it. The mask, the helmet, Isaac Clarke's helmet and that stuff. I'm like, yo, okay.
But the
nice.
problem is that
You
the
got
problem
me.
with that. But did you read the fine print that you're going to get the game first, then you're going to get all
Right.
the other stuff.
Right, yeah. That'll
That's the only
come.
negative.
But at least you get the game. The most important thing is the game. But yes, getting all the other stuff is important too because you paid for it. But I think for me at least, the most important thing is getting the game. And I mean,
Well,
if I could, I would get the Dead Space one. But I was
let's
like,
hope they don't pull out a Fallout.
Oh yeah. But you know what? I think a good PR campaign also enhances the game. Like everyone will remember, like what's that game called? Gears of War with Mad World. You know, I think it's sort of when you saw the commercial and then you played the game. It's sort of, I mean, a good PR campaign. I'm not saying that a bad PR campaign is going to be. I mean, or any PR campaign does anything to any game, but a really good one really enhances the gameplay a little bit. So yeah, like Mad World with Gears of War really did phenomenal. Did it, at least for me, something quite a bit. And same thing for Dead Space. Dead Space's PR campaign where they had Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
yeah, I'm sad they didn't like reimagine that because that was my favorite commercial to this day.
So.
Yeah, I actually watched that the trailer for that. When I would pop the game in, that trailer would just keep playing over and over and over again. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that and that stuff. Okay. So I can't answer this question, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to what everybody's been playing, and then we'll do the outros and that stuff. So, Dark, what have you been playing lately?
Right now, I'm playing Overwatch 2, of course. You know, loving that. I really like that game. And then I know a lot of people are dogging it right now, but Gotham Knights, and I'm actually enjoying it. It's actually a good game. It's not bad. I mean, it's not the best. You know, it's not better than the Arkham games for sure by a long shot, but it's still pretty good. I mean, I'm playing as Red Hood. I like that character, so. I'm having a blast with it. Yeah.
Okay. Luke, what have you been playing?
I actually haven't been playing much for the last 2 weeks because my company's been going through like an audit, so it's been hectic. I haven't finished Scorn. I haven't finished Yakuza 5. I haven't even started what is it? Plague Tale.
Yeah.
And I've already pre-ordered God of War. So, the good news is I'm free starting today. So, as soon as I'm done with you guys, I'm gonna crash, and then tomorrow it's on like Donkey Kong.
Just remember when Need for Speed comes out, you're getting your ass handed to you. Don't forget.
When does that come out, by the way?
Them fighting words.
Same day as Callisto.
December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. December
If it's the
2nd.
same day as
or 3rd.
Callisto, I'm getting Callisto over
Callisto.
Need for Speed.
Yeah.
I'm still split because I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not like these guys that be capping on the internet. I can't afford to buy both. So
Love it. That's great.
I like every single day. Like one day I'll wake up and when I fight with Retro, I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm getting it for Speed. Callisto will see me in January. And then I'll see some gameplay of Callisto and I'm like, I think Retro can wait. So right now, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna
That weapon is available whenever.
Hey, man,
it's
look
an
at it this
open
way.
invitation. Take your
It's a multiplayer
time.
game,
I'll be here waiting.
and the community is going to be there waiting for you. But Callisto, you know, you want to be on the hype train with everyone else, so you get on it within the same time.
true.
You
You
share
don't
your
want that to
stories
spoil
and everything, you know. But
See?
Honestly,
See?
I think that's.
I'm in
that's the
agreement with
thing.
Triple, to be honest.
But that's the thing. Like we're all kind of like I've always been this way, and I'll always be this way. Where if I'm playing a game and I'm loving it, I don't care when it came out. So I mean that's
Yes,
the thing. I know
they
everybody
don't
wants to be
rot.
on that hype train at first,
They
but
don't rot.
yeah, it's like like you said, it doesn't rot. It doesn't. It's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, unless
Yeah,
you have an unfortunate
you can
accident
still
of
play
passing
Metal Gear
away or
Solid 4
something, but,
today.
Talk about that
you know.
hour-long movie there. Yeah. That's a good game.
What hour long movie?
Oh no, Metal Gear Solid 4 epilogue was like an hour, but I hear Death Stranding was like 2 hours.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding was 2 hours, man. Yeah,
God
Well,
damn.
hated that game
I
though.
will not
I
stand
did
for
not
this
like it.
slander. Let's end the
Oh
podcast.
no. Oh no. I like Metal
No,
Gear
no,
Solid 5.
no.
I got
I
the
gotta get
collector's
everybody
not
else.
collectors, the
Yeah.
solid condition, whatever it's called, where it's got
Right.
like all the games on it right behind me. But yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Metal Gear Solid 4 was good. All 40 minutes of gameplay of it.
Oh yeah, that's.
Why?
I mean,
Why
he's
you're
not wrong
talking
in
your
a
way
way.
out of being against the show? You're talking your way out.
You don't like watching? Okay, never mind. We're not gonna turn into a Metal Gear podcast. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop.
Since I'm staring at his face and that stuff, Retro, what have you been playing lately?
What do you think, Gran Turismo? God damn
Pink
it.
Cat. Is that what you've been playing?
Well, I mean, you have to admit, I've got my fucking money's worth so far, haven't I? After everyone bitching about £70 prices and shit like that. 600 hours in and still counting, man.
Oh, go for it.
Finished The Last of Us Part 1 yesterday or the day before. And started Dying Light 2 again to try and get through that.
Okay.
Both really good
Triple.
games.
Yes, sir. Oh,
What have you been playing?
So what I have been playing, I finished Scorn over the previous weekend. So I was meaning to put out like a game discussion review-ish, but kind of been busier than I expected this week. I started A Plague's Tale and just played like the opening, probably open an hour for that. I've been meaning to go back to, I was streaming Evil Within 2 at some point, so I need to go back to that now that I kind of finally finished through Scorn. And I was playing Destiny per usual since they had their Halloween event and Slay the Spire. So, and last thing, kind of going back to the favorite horror games, I need to set the record straight so I can sleep at night properly. I'm gonna replace Outlast and probably Doom 3 with Silent Hill 3, and I gotta agree with Resident Evil 7. I blanked out on those games hard, but those two definitely horror games. Awesome, love them. Replace.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
done. So yeah.
I didn't finish Resident Evil 7, by the way.
Oh, it's good though. But yeah, so I can sleep at night. So yeah.
Man. It's good.
Jim, what have you been playing?
I've been playing the Get a Job game.
Job Simulator?
Yeah. Yeah. Unlocked the achievement, got a job, just waiting for them to tell me when to start. So, been just kind of doing that, playing some games. Haven't really been playing a whole lot. So, yes, the games can rot. It's called data rot, but that's a whole different topic. And yeah, I'm just going to throw my outro here because I'm not really feeling too hot right now. I need to go lay down. So, Jim74656 on the Twitters. Find me here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, unless work says otherwise when I start. So yeah, smash the like button if you hadn't already done so.
Appreciate that. Wise, what have you been playing?
I've been playing quite a bit of Super Mario Brothers Sparks of Hope. Came out last week, and really, I enjoyed the first one. Really, it was really well done. You could see the passion that the team had, and the second one is equally as good, if not better, in almost all respects. On a tangent, we were talking about the scary stuff, some of our scary games and some of the horror games that we like. I want to say one scene that I don't know, nobody actually mentioned, but to this day does give me nightmares. It's in The Last of Us 2, the motherfucking Rat King.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot all about that. I forgot about that. But yeah, it's actually, I don't think we got any more enemies like that. I'm like, dang, you guys could have done so much in the sequel, but
it had so much potential because you could see, what they did with that one boss guy. What? I'm sorry, I missed you. What'd you say? All right. I was playing
Oh.
Resident Evil.
I'm sorry. I was just got to say the one horror game that I forgot to mention was Halo 5, and playing Legendary, having to fight the Eternal dude like 100 times. That was a nightmare. God damn.
Shoot.
Yeah, that. But I was playing Resident Evil 8 on
Feel
the
better,
Series X.
Jim?
I was playing Resident Evil 8 on Series 8 on the Series X, but I don't know. I know this is going to make me sound like a pony, but I really am enamored by my DualSense. So I got some Amazon points, and I was able to get the Resident Evil 8 PS5 Gold Edition for like $30. Yeah, with my
Nice.
Amazon points. So I'm going to actually wait for that, and until that time, I'm playing the original Last of Us remake on the PS5. So.
Yeah, I platinumed that, man. That was a good time. They did a really good job on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually thoroughly impressed. I thought it was the mechanics are still the same, but I like the
Yeah,
graphic fidelity and everything. And it was
Yeah, it just
it's nice
looks
to go
better.
back.
That's what I like about it. It looks better. It feels very similar to the same game, but it looks better. It sounds better. It brings it up a little bit more to today's standards.
And it's like visiting an old friend. It was like it's nice visiting those characters again. So yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get everybody's outros and that stuff. And we'll go from there and that stuff. So with our guest, excuse me, sorry, Dark, it was great that you were on tonight and that stuff. I hope to get you back on here. It was great points, great opinions, and everything and that stuff. Wise is giving you a clap right now.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was also almost 2 hours already. I'm like, oh, okay. It went by pretty quickly, man. Yeah,
it always does here. You get into a good rhythm and that stuff and start talking and bullshitting about everything. Just everything flows in that. So, but why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the Twitters and every place social media and that stuff.
And it also helps when Retro is quiet. So.
Yeah. You guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Ottemis. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And as always, man, I love doing podcasting. So I mean, I know there's scheduling conflicts and stuff like that, but like, yeah, man, I mean, the show was great. I loved being on here, and thanks for having me. And hopefully we can do it again.
Oh, definitely. I'm not trying to get a ton of guests for the end of the year and that stuff, but once the new year comes, I'm going to start going and booking everybody in that. But I definitely want to get you back here. It was great having you on in that. Luke, it was great having you for the third straight week. Can we say you might be a member? Maybe I don't know. But you have a home here. You're more than welcome to let me know whenever you want to pop on and that stuff. And tell everybody.
If Loke has a member, that's his own business.
I feel like I have a home as long as Wise is not here. If Wise is here, then I'm like sleeping on the couch. I don't have like my own bedroom and my own mug. I'm on the couch, and as soon as everyone's up, I need to get my ass up.
You're in the doghouse, right?
It's okay. Get used to sloppy seconds. It's okay. Get used to sloppy seconds. At least it's moisture when you get sloppy seconds.
Oh my God, we're just trying to get the outro, okay?
Well, it's really
tell
not
everybody where they can find you.
Because Doom goes first, Triple goes second, Retro third, and then you go last, and then I have to it's like sloppy sixth or something.
You have to you have to bring up the rear.
By the time you're done, Wise, there's nothing in the rear.
These pipes are clean.
Anyway,
I don't know if Dark Ottemis want to come back.
Double LOUTK.
I love it, man. I love this shit. I love the back and forths, man.
Good. Tell everybody where they can find you, Loke.
Yeah, it's Loke7, LOUCK7 on PlayStation, Xbox, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can find me on all those socials, same name, and I'll see you there.
And I'll make sure to have Dark's all his information in the description. I'll also make sure to have Luke's all the with the podcast, his channel, everything in the description and that stuff.
Make sure you link their OnlyFans page too.
Oh yeah,
That-
speaking
I
of
did.
which, I can't disclose the numbers, but after you shouted out our Patreon for the TSWS gaming, we got a little bump. So thank
Oh,
you to
good.
everyone on the panel. and thank you, Doom.
Can I just kiss some little ass right now? TSWS Gaming Podcast is one of the best podcasts out there right now. It's absolutely fantastic. You and Ham Solo, I forgot the one girl's name. That's on
Cozy
there.
Beluga.
You guys are phenomenal panel. Phenomenal, man. You guys are doing your guys' thing. It's an absolute blast to have more people into the YouTube space with podcasting. So keep doing your guys' thing over there.
Man, you got me emotional, yeah.
I had a great time today. It was fantastic in that stuff. I loved being on there, so I will definitely be jumping back on there again in that. Triple, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, your channel, where you're streaming, Twitch, all that stuff?
Find them on the toilet.
I mean, occasionally. But yeah, you can find me on the YouTubes, the Twitters, and the Twitches at Triple Combo Gaming. Trying to get into a streaming pattern, but this week I was more busier than I thought, and trying to get a Scorn
If you have a problem
review-ish.
if you have a problem starting a stream, I think they have medication for that.
Yes. Let's go with
Why?
it.
Are you Latino? Are you Latino, sir?
Hey, what do you mean? Do I look Latino to you? What the hell?
You look Latino. That's
He
what I'm
looks
saying.
Latino. He's from Puerto
Because
Rico.
Latinos,
No,
we
I am
tend to
totally
talk a lot of
Asian.
shit.
I am totally Asian. My wife has a red dot on her head. Okay, I own no subway, but I do have 2 hotels and a gas station.
No, White is Puerto Rican. Habla español.
Retro,
Do
tell
not-
everybody what racetrack you are racing on as you're blowing me a kiss.
Well, he walks on the other side of the street, so he must be racing.
Don't
on
have
the
no
other side
time
of
to
the
be blowing
street.
kisses when we're
man.
racing, bro.
Oh man.
Come
Does
on,
anybody
Crispy,
actually
hurry
listen
up.
to Wise anymore? It's just like that annoying child in the background that yaps and yaps and yaps.
Like a
Just
chihuahua.
Then why don't
The episodes have just learned
then
to
why don't you
like
put
white
then why
noise him.
don't you put something in my mouth and shut me up?
Oh my
The
god.
dick's always in your mouth, bro. You can't stop mentioning me. It's ridiculous.
Let's get to the outros and everything now. Come on.
Yeah, you find
Oh.
me on Twitter, XDSX Retro. If you want my PSN or Xbox details, it's in my bio.
Yes, everybody's stuff, like I said, is in the description and everything. Wise, tell everybody where they can find you and what podcast you are on and all that.
Yeah, you can find me on this wonderful podcast every Friday and the show on Sunday whenever we get that going. I know we have one this Sunday, but God knows when we're going to have one again. Hint, hint, hint. You can also find me on Gaming After Dark on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And yeah, that's where you can find me. And by the way, does anyone know if anyone needs a kidney or something? I tried to go to the local hospital and to the Russian mafia to sell mine because I need to figure out a way of affording $400 freaking dollars this month because I got a freaking God of War collector's edition and a controller that I got to buy. And yeah, nobody wants my kidney anymore. So
I don't think you need to justify it, man. Just just live it up. Mine as well.
well, I went to the hospital. I said, I'm willing to sell my kidney. And they're like, well, you smoke and drank too much. So we don't want any of yours. So, but yeah, I'm willing to sell
All right.
plasma though.
All right. So I'll do my outro here and that stuff. Okay. So tomorrow, 3:00, we have William Aguilar coming on to the Damage Plan with myself, Retro, and David Faulkner. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Microsoft stuff. Maybe is Sony,
Microshaft stuff.
Microshaft. Is Sony really interested in CD Projekt Red or this other developer Unseen that does horror games and that stuff? We're going to be asking him that. Hopefully, because I did find out that Wooly is supposed to have a podcast tomorrow, which I did not know, but he knows that I do have one tomorrow. At least he should remember, I hope, but I will be putting a reminder out to him. So his guys might be a little bit late tomorrow. As Y sat there and said, Sunday, yes, the Order of Disorder is back, and we are going to be, yes, I know, Wise, you're very excited. Jim is going to be there. We have Dank Nate that's going to be in, and also the Reverend Richard is going to be on, and we're going to be discussing UFOs.
Nice.
And Catholic priests.
No, not Catholic priests. We're UFOs.
Same difference,
And-
right? Unidentified fucking objects.
I'm
Yes,
going
fact.
to make sure it is a good time on Sunday. The sound effects, everything else will be in full effect and bugging the living shit out of those three. So I got it all mapped out. You're going to hear aliens and Forbidden Planet and War of the Worlds, and everything that can possibly I could play is going to be played just to annoy them. So, and just to see if I can make it more funnier. But that is going to do it for us. I would like to actually sit there and say, if you guys have not, do me a favor, go to this channel. It's a real small channel. It's called Initiate Swarm Protocol. It's a channel that I have with a buddy of mine, Darth Wing Amok. I'm going to be releasing a brand new video either tomorrow or Sunday. It is going to be Lego Seinfeld. It's a real short video. It's only like 10 minutes and that stuff. But then we recorded the best games, some of the best games that we have played. That's going to be a two-parter. That's probably going to be in another week or two because I just got to get everything settled. But if you guys don't mind, maybe go check that channel out. If you like it, there's about 5 videos up there. Pirates of Dark Water, Back to the Future. If you like that kind of stuff, Tomb Raider statue. Subscribe, maybe give the videos a like, that kind of thing. I'm just trying to plug the shit out of it. So, but I appreciate it. Everybody that has subbed to the channel, has subbed to this channel. I appreciate you all. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you very much for coming out and that stuff. Again, Dark Ottemis, I really appreciate you being on tonight. We are definitely going to get you back very soon and that stuff. I really appreciate everything, man. You are great.
He says that to all the guests.
I figured he sucks them off, a little bit.
No, when it comes to plugging shit, Doom's an expert.
No, it's great, man. I love it. I love that. I love that.
See, at
Doom
least
has a
somebody
PhD.
Like
Doom has
you
a
treat your
PhD
guests
in
like their
plugging up
family,
shit.
man. That's a good thing. That's what you want to do.
He keeps
Yeah.
plugging away until you get constipation.
Okay, that's going to end the stream. We're out of here. Everybody say their goodbyes, and we are done before this gets way out of hand.
I love Wise, man. That's awesome, dude.
Bye. Thanks for everyone joining us tonight. Yeah, bye.
See you guys.
Sorry about Wise.